Yeah, so I'm Danny Weddle. I go by Carpenter Al. It's a tiny home company I started probably about 3 years ago now, and we're in the custom home for one of my clients. It's called Honey on the Rock. The name comes from the family heirloom still that is hidden in this house, typically in this cabinet. It's outside right now because people kept asking to see it. The only recipe with that still was Honey on the Rock, and I like that there wasn't rocks. It made me laugh, so I renamed the house Honey on the Rock. And originally it was going to be on a kind of a cliffside lake space, so that's where it comes from. Well, this is the entrance to the Honey on the Rock tiny house. There's a lot of little cool stuff in this one. It was filmed for HGTV's Tiny House Big Living, and once I found it was going to be on the show, I started talking to my friends who are artisans and said, meet me somewhere in the middle, I'll get you some exposure too. So my friend made these wooden lamps, these pendant lights back here. My friend's a blacksmith, made these hooks, all these pieces. And this is the kitchen. Copper sink. I like to do soldered copper piping, mainly for clean water and aesthetics, but it's also good for if a pipe does freeze and break, it's exposed and easy to fix, and it allows the heat from the house to get directly to the pipes. The kitchen's pretty straightforward. The homeowner wanted to essentially be able to host another couple. So everything in the house is set up for two couples. This window swings out here. There's two stools under here, two stools out there, so they can dine with a couple. The living room has two love seats, and then outside there's a deck that has a fold-up table that seats two. Really simple German cooktop. Some spices. The fridge got shifted today, but it sits right there. And then from the kitchen we lead into the bathroom. The bathrooms were another one of my artisan friends came in. He laid this mosaic spiral tile floor, and had a particular problem with this house. Usually I do metal walls for my showers, but because I hit the wheel well, I was having trouble figuring out a plan. And I talked to my friend who did the floor, and he came up with using a stucco that's mixed with latex, and it's basically what they make in-ground pools with. So it's got some malleability and some flexibility. It will, he's seen put extra caulk in the corners just to like seal up that seam, but everything else is really tight and strong, and it gives this nice stucco finish. And again, the soldered copper comes in, enters the house right here, and there's a heated small utility closet out there with a 40-gallon tank. 40 gallons super big for tiny homes, but it's to service an outdoor tub, which is a large soaker tub on the second story deck. So comes around, all hand soldered pipes. My electrician actually doubles as a woodworker, so he made this fancy lamp for us. And then Nature's Head composting toilet rounds out the bathroom. They kind of a mixture of cedar walls, cedar studs, so it's got a good water resistance and a good smell to it. And I love these little Panasonic fans. They're super quiet. Me and my partner both live full-time in tiny homes, and I didn't know her fan was on for the first year we were in the house. So we're coming from the bathroom into the kitchen. Through the kitchen into the living room. This is a whiskey still. The house gets its name from this whiskey still. And it's typically hidden under here. You pull out this little clasp and it just drops forward. The homeowner, when I started working on the house, had more or less 5 requests. He wanted to be able to hide the whiskey still, have a secret door, have a window that swung open, host 4 people, and to have a outdoor bathtub. And the outdoor bathtub came from him saying, "What's the craziest thing in your sketchbooks?" And I was like, "Well, I've drawn this outdoor bathtub a bunch of times. I've never built one. My house is atypical in that it has a second story bathtub in a tiny house." But he said, "Put it in the house." So yeah, it's in there now. So the living room. Future love seat. We don't have the cushions for this yet, but love seat here. And the staircase, this can slide underneath. Don't make a lot of moving parts in my house. I like to keep things fairly simple, but that allows there to be a staircase or to be a second place to host another couple. And then it's a kind of a once a month or once every couple months vacation home. So it's minimal cooking, minimal clothes storage here. And then that takes us up to the second story loft. I'll say one more thing down here. This is a great wood stove. This is by Dwarf Wood Stoves. And I just started using this. Is the first time I put one of theirs in the house, and this is the second day I've been burning with it, and it's absolutely great. More wooden lights by my friend. The ceilings in my homes are, this one's 7 species. It's become kind of the signature since I did my home a couple years ago. And I've gotten a lot quicker. It takes me about 20 hours to do a ceiling this size now. But we'll go on up to the loft. As you come up here, they just put this super thick, awesome mattress in. And kick the light off. I always do, this is important to know for my homes, I always do 2 light switches for the living room, so you can switch the living room lights from bed, and then there's just a lamp switch here, but it switches an outlet so that the homeowner can choose what kind of lighting they want in their bedroom. It's got his and her porthole windows. You can see one of them over here, and then a large, basically a 6-foot window at the, head of the bed. He wanted to be able to sit up here, look out on a private lake that he has, the private lake that he has the house parked on. And the last weird feature up here is that this is the secret door he wanted. So it's a little drawing of the house. I kind of, as a giving away present to any of my clients, I do some handwork, some hand drawings for their houses, and this one is a couple different views of that. It opens up. The blacksmith that did all the work downstairs, a guy named Taryn Marks from Brown County Forge, he made this nice little clasp system, kind of catches over, and that opens up a cedar shelf on the deck, and then you can just crawl right out. It's getting a little dark and snowy out here, but I'll give you a quick tour of how this comes together. The metal roof, I typically take my metal roofs all the way down to the ground on the back to kind of control water and protect from the northern wind in southern Indiana. It's all reclaimed barn steel off of a couple of house roofs that we remodeled in Bloomington, which is the town where our company's at. But the soaker tub, this is that crazy feature that Bill said, what is it that you would do that no one else has probably done? This was it. And it folds up, continuing that idea of hosting 2 couples. These are just safety latches that quickly snap on. That's to keep the table from falling over if it becomes unlatched. So those are just the safety snaps. You pull it together, and they're these small stainless steel clasps that run over the side. That snaps into a 4-person table.
Thank you, Denny, for doing the video tour. Your info will all be in the description, so go check out the description. He builds tiny houses for people, and this is one of his masterpieces. So thank you for doing the tour. And
You're welcome. This is kind of the flagship house right now.
yeah,
Mine was for a long time, but each client gets crazier and better.